The sky here in Cairo is just beginning to grow light. A new day is dawning, as few days ever do anywhere. It seems like nobody slept in this capital city last night. They've been at it all night, horns blaring, singing, literally dancing in the streets here, overflowing with joy at the departure of a man who held what seemed like absolute power for 3 decades over this country. But Hosni Mubarak is gone, and Egypt is preparing to begin again.
Listen. This is the sound of a people rising. What we witnessed here today, what the people of Egypt accomplished over the past 18 days, was a transformation, a revolution not just of their political system, but of themselves.
I'm elated. I never thought I'd see this day happen. I'm so happy. I just can't express it. I never cry in public, but it just happens. It's tears of joy inside.
After all the years of humiliation and powerlessness and defeat, it ended with a dour man in a blue suit.
President
Hosni Mubarak has decided to step down from the office of President of the Republic, said the Vice President, who was Mubarak's longtime collaborator and was supposed to inherit his powers. It was a dizzying, frenzied, tense final day. In the morning, right at Mubarak's doorstep in front of the presidential palace, pro- and anti-government protesters clashed ominously. Millions of ordinary Egyptians were furious at Mubarak's refusal to resign last night.
Our objective is changing the whole rotten regime.
Across the city, they spilled into the streets and headed for the regime's power centers, the Egyptian state television building, the heart of Mubarak's media and propaganda power. To the revolutionaries, it was a tower of lies.
It is important for the regime. It's not important for the people because it's been telling lies and giving propaganda. Once this building is taken over or is down, the regime is down as well.
And Tahrir Square was rapidly filling up again. The protesters planned a massive march on the palace. Then, reports that Mubarak had left Cairo, headed for his home at a resort on the Red Sea. The tension mounted. We just got word that Hosni Mubarak has left Cairo, maybe left the country. So we are going to go to the presidential palace where there's a large demonstration, mostly anti-Mubarak people, but some supporters as well. And we're going to check out the security situation, see what we can do. Along the way, thousands of people making the 13-mile, 2-hour walk from downtown to the palace. It was an absolute river of humanity along the broad avenue, an amazing sight. We are on the road to the presidential palace, the destination of thousands of marchers. We're still probably a half an hour by foot to the palace, and this is just a river of people stretching miles behind me and miles in front. At the palace, the crowd grew and grew. They knew Mubarak had left town, but it wasn't enough.
He came yesterday and said, oh, we're here to protect, we're here to do whatever you guys want us to do. And he's still misleading the people. It's gotta end. It's gotta end. And today, I think, my personal opinion, it's gonna end that way.
Soldiers guarded the palace behind coiled concertina wire, and then in an amazing gesture, the tanks just slowly and gracefully turned their turrets away from the people. And the soldiers joined in the revolutionary moment, waving flags, stirring the crowd. And we saw a reminder of the human cost of this revolution. A young man whose brother was killed in the protests tried to climb through the wire, his grief overwhelming. But the crowd was not grieving.
This is a celebration tonight. You have the same feeling here of empowerment and joy and determination that you have in Tahrir Square. It seems like all of Egypt has become Tahrir.
Across the country, the demand was the same: leave. And then, in an instant that changed history, he did. In Alexandria, in Ismailia, in Suez, unbelievable scenes.
The news hit this crowd like an enormous wave. In an instant, there was ecstasy.
And in Tahrir Square, the heart of the revolution, an unbelievable scene. Cairo turned into a parade, flags flying everywhere.
We've been here every single day, and today we brought our son to see this historic moment. He will read about this in books when he grows up.
This day is one of the most beautiful days in the Arab life. Egypt is the heart of the Arab world.
The joy was so intense it was hard to talk to people. But when we could stop for a moment to talk, language was no barrier. People were naturally eloquent.
This is the beginning of justice. Beginning of what we say will be. What we say will be. It's people's time.
And you did it.
Yes, we did it. The people did it. Government.
Revolution Day, a day when the seemingly impossible became a reality. When a people rose and made themselves a new country, a new world, a new life.
Before that revolution, I was ashamed to hold my Egyptian passport anywhere and in the US. Now, I'll be proud to hold it anywhere in this whole world. I am proud to be an Egyptian. I am Egyptian.